Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we're going to do a little bit of a review here that's going to kind of catapult us into the next part of the course. So, the next part of the course is actually volume and surface area. Now, to be able to do volume and surface area, we must first know how to find the area of different shapes. So, I'm going to be reviewing that today. If you're for sure comfortable with this stuff, feel free to skip this one. That's okay. But if you're not sure, or even if it's been a while, please do watch. I will be going at this at a relatively fast pace just because this is review. But that said, if you do have any questions about it, please don't hesitate to ask or to leave a comment. Okay, so the first part, number one, says calculate the area of each shape, round to one decimal place where necessary. Okay, so looks like the first shape is a triangle. Now, how do we find the area of a triangle? Well, the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. In this case, we can see that the base is 8 and the height is 4. So we have 8 times 4 divided by 2. That's equal to, let's see, 32 divided by 2, which is 16, right? And our units are centimeters. So for area, it's centimeters squared. So our answer is 16 centimeters squared based on that formula I just used there. Let's move on to B, okay? For B, same thing, it's a triangle. So area is base times height over 2, which is 24 times 20 over 2, which is 240. So there we have it. Okay. Oh, and I should put units, which are millimeters squared in this case. All right, now C. Well, C looks to me like it's a rectangle. So for rectangle, we just do area equals base times height. There is no divided by 2. It's just base times height. So this means that it's 15 times 6, which that's same as 30 times 3. So that's 90. That's 90 meters squared will be our answer for C. D also looks like just a rectangle. So that means that area is going to be base times height. So the base is 3.2 times the height, which is 7.1. So 3.2 times 7.1, if you plug that into your calculator, you should get 22.72 centimeters squared. So there we go. All right, let's move on to E. E is a circle, right? So how do we find the area of a circle? Well, the area of a circle is equal to pi r squared, with r being the radius. The radius of this circle is 6.2, right? So we have pi times 6.2 squared. So let's plug that in our calculator. So 6.2 squared is going to be equal to 38.44. And then we have to multiply that by pi. So times pi, which is about 3.141592 approximately. And if we do that, that is going to be 120.76 is what I got. Now it did say to just round to one decimal point. So I will round up to 8. And actually, I didn't do that here. I should have not included the second one. There we go. Let's take that out. And then we're good to go. We have meters squared. Awesome. All right, this last one here for part 1 also looks to me like it's a circle. So that's going to be pi r squared. Now, they don't actually tell us the radius here, but they do say the diameter is 9 millimeters. Now, keep in mind that the radius is half the diameter. So to find the radius, we're going to take the diameter divided by 2, which is 9 over 2, or 4.5. So therefore, area is going to be pi times 9 over 2 squared, or you could write 4.5 squared. Doesn't matter which one you do, because we are going to convert to decimal in a minute anyway. So let's do that. So 4.5 times 4.5 is 20.25. And then times pi, is 63 point, I got 617. Now I'll round that just to 63.6 because they said to round to one decimal place where necessary. Very good. Okay, awesome. So that's the first one done. Now they have number 6, looks like. Here it says the area of a trapezoid can be calculated using the formula 1/2 h times a plus b. Calculate the area of each trapezoid. Okay. So for this one, let's talk about why that is. Well, basically what they're saying, it's what they're saying here is that we must find the average of A and B, right? We have to find the average of the bases, of the two bases, and then multiply that by the height. So in a way, this formula is similar to just base times height, except we don't just have one base, right? We have two separate bases. And so that's why we have to divide by 2 to find the average of those two. So that is why this equation does indeed work. Now, that said, you won't be asked why this equation does indeed work on your test, but what you will be asked is what's the answer? What's the area for these? So let's go through that. So for this first one, the area would be 1/2 times the height, which the height is 4, and then times a plus b, which is 2 plus 5. So that's going to end up being 4 times 7 over 2, which is 28 over 2, which is 14 centimeters squared. And there we go. Awesome. All right. Then we have B. B is that the area is equal to 1/2 times 5 times 7 plus 3, which is going to be 50 over 2, which is 25 centimeters squared. Awesome. Okay. Then we have C, which is that the area is 1/2 times the height, which is 3 times 4 plus 8, which let's see what that is. That's going to be 3 times 12 over 2, which is 36 over 2, which is going to be 18 centimeters squared. Awesome. All right, well, that is it for today's quick review regarding the area of different shapes. I will say, do make sure you're familiar with area, with perimeter, with all that good stuff, or in the case of a circle, circumference, make sure you are familiar with all of this and more as well, because that's going to really help you out when it gets to surface area, right? When we do surface area, we're going to need to put a bunch of these together in order to figure it out for these the three-dimensional shapes which are coming up. And then we're also going to touch on volume as well, and even some optimization as well for the future. So do make sure you have a good foundation of this. If this was still a little bit confusing, if there's still certain shapes you're not as comfortable with, and that's no problem. But do bring those up to me in office hours or leave a comment, because then we can get that sorted so that you'll be in good shape for the next part of this unit and this course. But yeah, good work today, everyone, and we will see you next day where we'll start talking about volume and or surface area. Good work, everyone, and goodbye.